Who am I? Where am I? When am I? Sing to me of the man Muse, the man of twists and turns. My name is Nobody. Nobody I am called by mother, father, and by all my comrades. Libraries are portals into 1,000 new worlds, beacons of culture, cathedrals of knowledge. They have been around for thousands of years and have the tendency to be fabled, enigmatic, almost magical places.
Coming into a library, you expect books, lots of them. Instead, you get nothing. But this is quite a lot actually. We are here in the heart of the Stuttgart City Library, in this vast, airy space, which is like a pantheon, and this is for a reason, because this space allows you to breathe freely, to calm down, to relax, before you surrender yourself to all the books that are waiting on the floors above. But before we surrender to this vast ocean of books that's awaiting above, I would say it's time to check the basics first. My name is Björn Springorum and I work as an author, presenter and freelance journalist here in Stuttgart, and I'm very dearly connected to the Stuttgart City Library for many years now. For me, it's a great pleasure to show you this beautiful building today, and I would say we just start with a tour outside.
We can safely say that our society, our very culture, was born in a library, in the scriptoriums of the monasteries where monks in dark halls conserved wisdom, letter by letter. The Stuttgart City Library is a place of conserved wisdom too, with one big difference. It is a place for everybody. 10 years ago, on October 24th, 2011, the new library was opened. A monolith fallen from the sky, not unlike the one in the movie 2001, Odyssey in Space. It's hard to believe now, but back then, the cubic creation of Korean architect Eun Young Yi was the first building that was completed in the new Europaviertel behind the main station. Sure enough, brick-headed as we Stuttgarters tend to be from time to time, we were highly critical when it came to this fortress-like Leviathan. But even though it took a little while, our strained relationship to the new library is long forgotten. Since its grand opening in October 2011, an annual 1.4 million visitors stream through the entrances. On each side of the building, you can see the word library in 4 different languages. German as national language, English as world language, Arabian as an early stronghold of science, and Korean, a tribute to the homeland of its creator. At the same time, the multilingual inscription symbolizes the internationality of the Stuttgart City Library, rather fitting for a city with inhabitants from more than 170 nationalities.
Time magazine rated Stuttgart City Library among the 20 most beautiful libraries in the world, as the only German library on the whole list. And in 2013, only 2 years after the library opened, it was named Library of the Year. And I think it's high time we find out why.
Do thou tell me which of the immortals it is that binds me here and have hindered me from my way. The newspapers tell me it is the 21st century. Thanks for 9 days space. I was born by direful winds over the teeming deep. Also situated on ground floor is Gallery B, hosting digital art on 16 screens.
Originally, this place only had 2 elevators, but when more and more people flocked to see the library, a third one was in dire need, and that's for a good reason, because what most people come to see lies far above.
It is here and now, in the remarkable gallery on floor 8, that people usually lose their hearts to the library. From here alone we can see the spines of 60,000 books. With the light coming from above, from the sides, from everywhere, you get the feeling of being inside a spaceship of knowledge.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? And I mean, between you and me, there's got to be something the architect Eun Young Yi must have done right, because after all, there are few other places in Stuttgart that are so heavily hashtagged on Instagram. Like, you know, the Stuttgart City Library, and this here is the gallery, and I guess it's, yeah, one of the most famous places in Stuttgart right now. Eight floors, brimful with books, with wisdom, with adventure, are sprawling around us, beneath us, above us. And with so many books in one place, with so many stories, alien worlds, you can almost hear the whispering between the pages.
Als Gregor Samsa eines Morgens aus Unruhe an die schlimmste Zeit, ein Jahrhunderteweise der Matsch, an dessen Namen ich mich nicht erinnern will, lebte vor nicht lange.
Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive. Proud to say.
Universally, except one. Call me Ishmael. All these countless words around us want to get out, want to be read, have their very own story to tell. It is places like these where the word itself can truly shine, a beacon of literature that is shining for all of us. The Stuttgart City Library is a place for everybody and anybody, and no elitist castle barricading behind a drawbridge.
At the same time, this library is something like a miniature Stuttgart, a microcosm within an urban macrocosm populated by all those who like to be taken hostage by a good book, just like me. This is where we all come together peacefully, no matter where we came from. And I'm sure you will agree with me when I say that we could need more places like these. Not despite, but because of the digital age.
And now, tell me, and tell me true. Where have you been wandering, and in what countries have you traveled? tell us of the peoples themselves and of their cities. Where does man come from? How did he become what he is now? Novels or science? History or fantasy? Poems or comic books? Entirely different reading arenas are spreading across 8 floors, equipped with lots of cozy nooks or workstations or comfy seats to research or simply escape the world for a little while. All it takes for that is a good book and just a little bit of time. The music library boasts one of the biggest public sheet music collections in Europe, right next to albums by Kiss or Billie Eilish. Thousands of thrilling adventures in dozens of languages await in the colorful children's library. There's also a special club called Die Buchkinder, whose members are even printing their own books in a workshop right on this floor.
When I was a kid, every visit to the library was a huge adventure. And to this very day, I can remember exactly how it smelled like, how the floor plan looked like, and where I could find all the books I wanted to, you know, the comics, the books, everything. But I piled books upon books upon comics upon books until I had a huge pile of books and had to put away half of it or more in the end because I had long exceeded my limit. Just imagine how it must feel as a kid in this library. You're allowed to take home 50 books with you. 50.
The children's library is also home to the biggest and smallest book in the whole collection. Cosmopolitan in its own right is the foreign language library. Books in 26 different languages line the shelves here, among them Chinese, Arabian, Russian or French.
Friedrich Schiller, Friedrich Hölderlin, Hermann Hesse or Annette von Droste-Hülshoff. Being from Swabia or from Baden-Württemberg, we of course are especially proud of our literary progenies.
But for once, this diorama here on 4th floor is especially dedicated to the contemporary heroes of local literature.
The prophet, as the saying goes, indeed is not without honor here.
Now, whether you're keen on the ocean, want to learn crochet, or the songs of the Beatles, read more about plants, enjoy comic books, understand Chinese ideographs, Arabian or even sign language, Whether you're interested in fishing, golf, or the wisdom of Asia, or want to dive into the history of the arts, you have truly come to the right place. An outright curiosity and a unique, rather wondrous feature of the Stuttgart City Library is the Graphothek. While the rest of the library is mainly about lending books, this section here is all about lending art. Mind you, we are not talking art prints here, but originals. You can choose from over 2,500 unique works of art to take home with you and temporarily turn your living room into an art gallery. Oh, and here on ground floor we have a very special employee of the Stuttgart City Library. A globally unique sorting plant. 500,000 books are carried through the library on 70 carts and 200 meters of mostly invisible tracks. Day and night, never ending. A genuine Odyssey behind the scenes.
Let's hear some quick facts. This tailor-made construction here has cost 1 million euros. It's transporting up to 7,200 books a day on these small carts, which run at roughly 0.9 meters per second. And this is precisely the speed of a rattlesnake.
What makes us human? What is forging us, shaping us? But when the sun set and darkness came on, they lay down to rest beside the stern cables of the ship. We have to keep it down now. The books behind me, they are still asleep. They have to work the night. Because for all those who can't sleep at night, we have the Bibliothek für Schlaflose, the Insomniac Library, so to say, situated right on ground floor on one of the main entrances. Yet another unique feature of the library awaits under the ground floor.
Downstairs, right beneath the heart of the library, lies the forum. It's something like a primordial cave of words hosting readings and events. Moreover, it is home to a very special, rather magical foundation stone of the library. Right here, under the foundation stone of the Stuttgart City Library, a book was grounded. Everything around us, everything above us, is based on a book. Isn't that a nice thought?
We sailed on, and some god guided us through the murky night. For there was no light to see, but a mist lay deep about the ships and the moon. Man is the vainest of all creatures that have their being upon earth. From the monastery library in Echo's The Name of the Rose, via the university library in Terry Pratchett's Discworld, to the living libraries in Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. Libraries are enchanted places in the worlds of fiction, but also in our world. For 10 years now, also the Stuttgart Library has taken up its place in the pantheon of extraordinary libraries, has become a dream destination for locals and travelers alike. More importantly still is its role as a place for each and every single one of us, an analog enlightenment in a digital world.
This is no anachronism. Far from it, actually. Without places like these, fiercely protecting the spirit of literature, a lot would be lost. For me as an author and presenter, of course, but mainly for us all as humans. Actually, it's just like Austrian writer Markus Grasser said. As long as there's a light in the library, the world can't be lost.
Thus she sped on swiftly and clove the waves of the sea, bearing a man, the peer of the gods, in counsel.